Save game review. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm finally gonna review some more of your save games because I forgot I was even doing this show. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, I've picked out some very nice save games for us to check out right here. We got this German Brewing Imperium, but the theme of this challenge is this player formed like 15 different nations and flipped religion like 78 different times. Then we have the second Marines only run, which has ended up as Japan, but this player started off as Oman, and we have like 50 different nation changes right there as well. So after those two spicy save games to review, I have a nice, chill, tall Netherlands run that I want to check out for some pristine economic gameplay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first save game of the day, this German Brewing Imperium save game by Drakeson on October 23rd, 1762. And let's see what this player had to say about this save game. So let's take a look at it right here. There it is. So Drakeson says, my German unification starting as Bohemia, then Great Moravia, then Hungary, then flipping Protestant, then Prussia, then the Hanseatic League to clear the coalition, then Germany, then he flipped back to Catholic because Spain was too strong for some reason, and then he finally became a theocracy slash a brewing imperium. My plan was to stack absolutism but didn't get to form France, and far away from the Roman Empire, plus lost a big coalition with strong Spain, doing the war basically solo, so lost 10% of Bohemian mission, only 135% max absolutism, year is 1762. He has 1.5 million men fielded. Spain still has a larger army than him, plus they went offensive quality, quantity, defensive, so very strong army quality with a very big army and tons of colonies behind it. So yeah, this sounds about as a crazy run as we ever get in a save game review, so let's jump right into it. Alright, here we are in our Germany Brewing Imperium run. Now, actually, the first thing I want to check out before we actually check out Germany, man, is this Spain that this player was complaining so much about. So look at this absolute behemoth, man. AI Spain, yo, this looks like a player-controlled nation. Look at everything that Spain owns directly right here, and look at their entire realm, dog. They got pretty much all of the Americas, such a big portion of Africa, Australia, New Zealand, a very large portion of maritime Southeast Asia here, and they're fighting this huge Bengal. So many massive nations we can see this run. So Germany, Spain right here, big Arabia, Persia, lots of strong Indian guys, Transoxiana, big Japan, Shun over here. So Somalia, very weird run right here, man. But yeah, look at this extremely powerful AI Spain, dog. That's absolutely insane to me. But let's not drag it on for any longer. Let's take a look at the Great Powers list. Number 2 on the Great Powers list, not even the strongest nation in the world, man. They're a naval hegemon, so absolutely unstoppable, these guys right here. Germany, number 2 on the Great Powers list, 400 dev behind this massive AI Spain. So now that we've taken a look at that, let's open up the country view right here. We got Brewmaster Frederick Miller, level 5 advisors. That is absolutely pristine right there. Going over into the government tab, 135 max absolutism and 135 actual absolutism. Now, as strong as this is, really it isn't that necessary, right? You can get it up to 100 easily and instead utilize more estate privileges. So even though this is such a good run right there, that's just a little bit of a minus for me, right? This is all wasted. It doesn't really do anything. But we'll move on to that further. Let's go ahead and go into the diplomacy tab, allied only to Persia, and we have this coalition right here going. So yeah, no expansion this way, at least for now. Maybe push into some of the eastern guys or Arabia or whoever right here. And Sweden and Scilly are vassals. Tiny Sweden, tiny Scilly, so really not even worth mentioning. Going over into the economy tab, making absolutely, you know, buckets of ducats right here, 2,500 ducats income per month. Such a large portion coming in from trade and from production, not that much from tax, obviously, not very relevant. A ton coming in from gold, super developed gold mines, by the way. Lubeck, Intal, No, Hustle, and Egger, I think those are the, yeah, these three right here. So how dev'd are they, man? 10, 5, 11, and 15, but I guess that's from so much goods produced right here, right? So absolutely insane economy right here. I love it. More than 50% coming in from trade, which is like actually a little bit weird for the, you know, for controlling these trade nodes right here. Obviously, and it's not being even routed to Lubeck, it's being routed to the English Channel, but due to the control, it's so nice right there. So yeah, very surprising that such a high percent is coming in from trade, and 172% goods produced, man. Furnaces are already active, so that's absolutely insane right there. In the tech department, not ahead of tech in every tech, but still not a big deal. Going over into the ideas, we got Great Moravian ideas active right here. Goods produced, absolutism, manpower stuff, actually really good. And then we got espionage, admin, trade, diplo, quantity, quality, religious. So good picks right here, but to beat this pain at this point in the game, I'd probably get rid of espionage and swap it with like offensive or defensive or something like that, since you do want to buff up your army quality even more. Not a lot of army related stuff in the Great Moravian ideas. Meanwhile, the missions are obviously the German ones, so that's pretty good for conquest right here. Excellent. And let's take a look at the policies right here. Very good policies. Are there any really good ones that aren't active? Yeah, once you complete religious, you definitely want to pop this off. This one is a really good one as well, along with this one, but all of them you need to complete religious for, and you know, eventually you will get there. So very nice on that. Nothing to take a look at right here. Under governing capacity, we are right now Catholic. This player mentioned that they did flip back and forth a bunch of times. 125% religious unity, very nice right there. Going over into the military department, see the military itself, even though it's so large, it's not really that strong, right? Spain, as we all know, can get a really powerful military, especially paired with the fact that they went with literally every important mil idea group right there. So definitely a tough cookie to crack. 10% combat ability and pretty much all of these, no maxed out professionalism, good morale, good discipline right there, and the force limit is absolutely huge. Nice generals as well. Combat width is 40, so these guys should be split. Yeah, they are split. So basically this player is running like this as one stack. So there we go. Even though you'd want to build up a little over, right? This is an MP, so you don't really have to get another stack behind you to reinforce and stuff like that. But 4440 would be perfect for me. I don't really have much to say about that. In the subjects department, we got the Baltic, Balkan, and Anatolian trade companies, which are these right here. So, you know, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. No big deal. And see, now we get to the estates, man, because like I mentioned earlier, 135 absolutism is not really needed, all right? All you need is 100, and that's like if you're doing a world conquest right here. So for this run right here, even though your goal was to do that, there's really no need, right? You're way better off getting some estate privileges active, the monarch point ones, and, you know, at least the monarch point ones, right? So even with that, you'd still be at 120. So that's really the only little negative I have right here, and then maybe not picking up another mil idea group, but really it's not all that bad at all. So yeah, that was pretty much it. This is what the country is looking like, man. The borders I'm actually liking quite a lot. Interesting that you haven't fought Venice at all, even though I guess, you know, there is an ability right here as soon as they leave the coalition or something like that. But yeah, pretty nice borders. I'm pretty satisfied with that. It's also weird to me that you haven't annexed Scilly, but things are looking pretty clean right here. This is everything that's stated, everything that's not. No interest in any other part of the world aside from Europe. All right, the economy, obviously, we already know it's doing literally insane, but we're still going to take a look at the stuff we normally take a look at. So, you know, going into the cultures right here a bit, lots of them accepted, lots of them promoted as well. So that's super nice right there. In the building department, marketplace is built up, upgraded the trade depots, upgraded the stock exchanges. Everything is perfect right there. You know, town halls literally everywhere. That's what we like to see. Workshops literally everywhere. Upgraded to counting houses literally everywhere. Churches quite a lot. It seems like in your initial area right here, or the area that you conquered later on, because all of these OPM HRE guys tend to build them. There we go, upgraded in some locations as well. A lot of army buildings too, upgraded the training fields. Everything is super nice right there. And now let's take a look at the manufactories. Pretty much almost everywhere, even some of these other manufactories right here. Well, yeah, definitely. So we got soldiers' households, a couple of ramparts that someone built, furnaces, definitely. So everything is looking really good in the building department. Over in the development tab, Lubeck 80 dev, Metz developed. All of these are very, you know, lots of provinces above 40, so many provinces above 32. Actually, that's an insane amount of provinces above 30. You definitely have been doing development right here. Many provinces above 20 as well, a bunch above 10. So development is looking really nice right here. I'm interested in seeing how many provinces are above 10, and it's only like 3 right here. So I mean below 10, so that's an absolutely insane stat in the development department as well. Very nice. In the papacy screen, utilizing these guys right here, that's perfect. And let's go into the government reforms. We're a clerical state. Obviously, you know, only a clerical state or a theocracy can become a brewing imperium. We got the Kaiserreich right here, which is plus 15% gov cap. A very nice what you call it. There's some couple of cool ones right here for Germany theocracy ones. Education of the missionaries for conversion, obviously needed since you flip back and forth so many times. Langford's Church is excellent. Grand General War Commissariat is pretty great as well, even though there are some other cool ones right here, like this one, for example. We got Strengthen Religious Head, Monastic Breweries, that's how you become a brewery, Empower the Burghers, Combat Heresy, Dynastic Theocracy, Belief in Unity, Religious Society, Priestly Autonomy. All of these ones are really, really good right here, man. So this is looking like a very nice run, at least for me. Not a lot to complain about, except for this little what you call it, estate stuff. But even that I can't, you know, knock too much, because like this player said, this was like a max absolutism run or something like that. Admin efficiency 73. So really this is like a perfect setup for a world conquest right here, with all of those absolutisms things and stuff like that, even though that's not really what you were going for. But yeah, very interesting AI in this campaign as well. Now, with all of that taken a look at, man, I think everything is really cool right here. We do need to take a look at the timeline, but as you all know, man, taking a look at the timeline in these games where like 50 different nations are formed, even if just one different nation is formed, is kind of wonky, so we won't really be taking a look at what we want to take a look at right here. So that's why I'm going to go on speed 5. This is a pretty late campaign as well. Started off as Bohemia, there we go, annexing the subjects, expanding over here. See, it says Prussian Carpathia right here, right? So many wonky things. Ducal Prussia and Hungary, right? That's not really what's going on. Now we're Hungary, right? But probably not really. We got the Burgundian succession right here. At least we can see that. Early wars versus the Ottomans, which is always nice to see. See, now we're Ducal Prussia, but the Hungary, you know, color estate, and we're not really Ducal Prussia, we're regular Prussia. Now we're Lubeck, right? So yeah, there we go. We can see the conquest there a little bit, eating up the HRE now as we're Lubeck. If we're really Lubeck, guys expanding out here, blobbing. The HRE was even dismantled this run, as far as I noticed. Now we're Germany. So actually the timeline wasn't this wonky, aside from that Prussia and Hungary thing that happened right there. But yeah, that's how we get to our end game, man. And I confirm that the HRE doesn't exist. So even with the little minor nitpicks I had right here, man, regarding the estate stuff maybe, and with your army not being that strong for what this run is, I actually really enjoyed it. I like when players form different countries, and I'm really, really impressed by the AI this campaign. And this economy is super, super sweet too. So very cool run we had to check out right here. Too bad we couldn't actually take a look at you know, more of how all of these nations are formed like that, right? That's more what you would expect to see in a video or something. You can't really tell from reviewing a save game. I really like that, and for that, I'm giving this campaign a 5 out of 5. Let's move on with the next one. All right, let's move on with our second campaign of the day. This Marines only run by Impoje on October 1st, 1649. Now, let's take a look at what this player had to say about this campaign. And what was his name? Impoje right here says, Marines only run. Main goal was to stack as many Marine bonuses as possible. No land units other than Marines or cannons were allowed. Starting as Oman, initially allied the Timurids and deleted armies. Main strategy was to use Timurids as a punching force to win my wars for me, while I wait for idea groups to even be able to build some Marines. Starting off with a nation with no coastline, by the way, even though Oman does have, you know, the best, naval ideas in the game. Let's move on. Sneaked my way to Athens, moved capital there, and then classical Nosebia on East Frisia was performed. Nations list was Oman, missions gives Marines buffs. Hansa for missions and permanent army bonuses. Netherlands for Marine buffs and missions. Prussia, mainly for strong military ideas. England for missions and Marine buffs. And then Japan for missions and Marine buffs. So 6 different nations. With all of this, I ended up with the most strong Marines army ever, and a country that has Muslim tech. The Van Orange dynasty is reformed, that's buffed if you're from the Netherlands, and holds the mandate of heaven. So we got a Muslim tech Van Orange ruled nation that's reformed and has the mandate, ladies and gentlemen. Truly the most blurst run I've ever had. I tend to agree. Let's jump in. All right, here we are in our Japan run. I'm seeing lots of different weird nations around the map, man. What's going on right here? All right, let me actually take a look at this first. So what is actually Japan? So this is like the core of the country right here, sort of Northern Europe. I dig that. There's Athens right there that the player says he moved to. We got a big control over Africa right here, the old trade company areas. Lots of stuff actually in Japan and in Southeast Asia. Okay, so that's the country itself. Now, if we go to the diplomat mode, we are in a war, and I can't tell who's subjects and who's not. But yeah, look at... Okay, let's just go step by step. So let's take a look at the great powers list. Japan is number 1 on the great powers list, 11,761 development, 7,000 of which is the own development. In in a Marines run, obviously it's expected that we're a naval hegemon as well, so very nice right there. Okay, opening up the country itself, we got a Shogun Frederick Wilhelm I Van Orange 664, very strong, level 5 advisors in every category, making 21 admin points a month. That is insane. Going over to the government tab, we are an empire right here. Nothing to take a look at too much. Different weird cultures accepted and promoted. Not too much max absolutism, but you don't need it. This isn't a world conquest. Now, into the diplomacy tab is what I wanted to see. So we got Cuba and France as junior partners. That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna say that's weird. We got the commercial enterprise, we got the VOC right here, which is basically owning almost all of India. Then we got Basra as a vassal, so giving up some of the initial starting provinces right here. And then we got literally a million different trade protectorates, which is pretty much almost all of these guys around Africa right here. And then we got a bunch of different tributaries as well, because we are we have the Mandate of Heaven, lots of different colonies as well. This is such a cursed run, and that's right, we're reformed. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the economy right here, making 4.2k ducats a month income, absolutely crazy. Most of it coming in from trade right here, some income from gold, tariffs, vassals, spoils of war, production and tax active as well. No inflation, by the way, and no loans either. That is super nice right there. Look at this, man, almost 3/4 of the income coming in from trade, 124% goods produced. Yeah, man, trade absolutely bonkers this run, man. Good job on that. It's looking so strong. We got all of these active too, dude. This is like a Flory level run, man. We got a very good player right here. I'm liking this so much. In the tech department, way ahead of time in every single technology. And with the ideas right here, the player is stuck with Prussian ideas. He said that for a strong military. We got maritime, naval, innovative, quality once again for the boats, and economic as well. Really nice idea group picks for what this run is right here. Missions, don't need to take a look at them too much, man. Japanese missions are kind of weird anyway. Decisions and policies, very nice right here. Mostly naval and money related stuff. So that's all perfect right there. Stab and expansion below GovCap. That's pretty much the only thing. We got reformed right here, 92% religious unity, but not a lot left to convert. If I'm being honest, not a lot left to convert at all. Everything is going to be converted right here very quickly, focusing on trade and war right now with the reformed mechanics. In the military department, we got a 678 force limit, but no cavalry and no infantry. 55% infantry combat ability. That is absolutely stupid. 10% cavalry and artillery. Maxed out absolutism. Very good morale. Very good discipline as well. 34 combat with. Now let me actually try and find these armies right here. So they are all Marines, man. They are all Marines. Look at this. Naval sailors actually is so strong as well. So yeah, but this is a perfect army composition for this right now. It literally couldn't be better, man. These are obviously split right here so they don't attrition, but it's looking so good, man. I'm loving this run, man. This is what we want to see in Save Game Review, boys. All right, so here are the actual subjects right here. If we sort by subject type, we got these trade protectorates, which don't actually have an icon right here. Lots of guys over in Asia and in Africa. Then we got the VOC. These are the tributaries. These are the colonies, junior partners, vassals, and trade companies as well. I think this player has almost every single subject type that you can have in a playthrough such as this, man. Yeah, I just wish we weren't at war so we could see more things right here, but what we're doing right now is Japanese war for the Sicilian throne. He's trying to PU the two Sicilies. This absolutely massive two Sicilies. Whatever, man. Listen, I'm not qualified to speak on this campaign. I'm gonna just be real. I'm not qualified. But yeah, in the estates setup right here, man, estates are super satisfied. 100% crownland ownership. Still lots of privileges active. We even got the eunuchs, bruh. We even got the eunuchs. Since we're the mandate holder, absolutism is actually insane. Let me actually take a look at the mandate right here. So lots of celestial reforms passed too, man. Everything is satisfactory here. This is just such a good run, man. This is just such a good run. I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we can take a look at right here. No allies, right? Yeah, so everyone that's in this war is actually a subject or whatever. So these are our trade protectorates as well. Yeah, man, this is like a half a world conquest right here technically, right? So such a good run, man. I'm honestly very impressed, boys. Very impressed. Is there even a need to take a look at other stuff as well? Sure. So lots of other stuff can be stated, but then again, we have a lot of trade companies over here as well, so not a lot to say about that. Capital right now is in London, I'm assuming. Yes, it is. It's developed up to 66. Great projects upgraded as well. So let's go into the buildings right here. Marketplaces, yeah, you can still build a lot more, but is anything I'm saying right here even really necessary? Not really, right, boys? Courthouses pretty much everywhere right here. Production buildings, that's dope. Yeah, this is definitely like the core of the country over here, man. Lots of churches too. Some of them have been upgraded. That's perfect. Manufactories present. Yeah, man, you know, buildings aren't perfect, but you don't need anything to be perfect for this run, man. Everything is already perfect. See, if we go into the developed province and include territories and subjects, we can actually see the everyone. And look, man, I'm getting such bad FPS right here in this tab. Yeah, these are all, this is everyone that's part of this this cursed or blessed or even blessed realm that we're taking a look at right now. If we sort by dev, yeah, looks a bunch of provinces so highly developed, man. So many provinces above 30, and you can just see how slow this is. I'm getting like 12 FPS in this menu with the game paused, man. Yeah, dev is looking absolutely insane. No need to keep scrolling through this. This is just such a good run, man. Such a good run. Let's take a look at the government reforms. I bet this is going to be cursed as well. We are a celestial empire. Of course we are. Curtail noble privileges. Decentralized. Not ones that I would go with, but for such a cursed run right here, I think these are actually pretty fitting. Maintain balance of power. This one isn't bad either. Of course, amphibious specialization. General estates. Meritocratic. Gokaido reform. 6 books. Strengthen Bakuhan system and political absolutism. Man, what a run. That's all I can say. What a run. And I think this player started right here in these provinces, man. Oh, which monument is this? Nizwa Fort? I completely forgot about this one. But yeah, a very good run. Let's try and take a look at the timeline here once again. This is going to be even more cursed than the Germany one we took a look at. So starting off as Oman. Okay, there we go. Expanded it into these guys, just pushing hard for Athens, like the player said. Yeah, there we go. Push through all of these guys with the help of the Timurids. We got Athens. Now, where do we go from here? I'm not even sure what we're taking. He knows CB to East Frisia right here. So, yeah, he is already Lubeck at this point. As we can see, Lubeckian Arabia. But now, where is the expansion going to go? Yeah, at this point, we should have pretty strong marines. So, more expansion from Lubeck over here. Let's see, there we go. We're in Prussia right now. We're probably about to see Prussia. I'm just trying to stay zoomed out. So yeah, probably feeding a bunch of vassals as well. Oh no, now we're the Netherlands actually. There we go. So yeah, I'm betting at this point there's already lots of subjects established. Blobbing out in the Baltic North Sea area. Now we're Britain, England. I don't even know what we're taking a look at anymore, but yeah, there's the expansion. Are we in Japan yet? I guess not, but Japan, yeah, we are in Japan, man. Look, when I hover over here, it's Prussia, so yeah, this is how that, look, we got the East India Company already. Yeah, it's so hard to analyze this when this is what it's looking like. See, there's Prussia, but it's not. It's England, and we still got England, but Prussia, but also Japan right here as well, so yeah, we're really not getting a lot of info from this, from this timeline, man, and we're about to get, you know, to where we actually are in the game, and there we go, the timeline is done. It's still wonky even when we end it, right? And, yeah, it's just not a lot of info from that, but such a sweet run, man, such a sweet run. It's so cursed. Once again, just like the previous run, man, I'd love to, like, you know, get videos of this or a live stream or something like that. Both of these challenges that we just took a look at, but especially this one, are like, man, they're made for streaming, right? They're made for streaming. And if I was a streamer instead of a guy that makes videos, I would love to do things like this, even though I have to admit, and a lot of you guys will already know that this is sort of out of my scope. Not that I can't do it. It's just I don't have the willpower to do something like this. So very, very awesome run, man. I'm absolutely loving it. For me, this is another 5 out of 5. Shoot, I'd give you a 6 if I could. Let's move on with the next one. And with that, we arrive to our final save game of the day. This Netherlands pretty border tall economic run by WMA right here on August 1st. 1646, pretty close to the date with the, you know, Marines only Japan run. Let's see what this player had to say about this campaign. And WMA says, "Hi Hawk. This is my Dutch run, just a play tall game with nice borders, high dev, good edifications, economy, hegemony, and a huge worldwide coalition." Well, that was enough to interest me, so let's jump into our final save game of the day. Alright, here we are in our Netherlands campaign, and the borders aren't looking very large, but that is totally expected. Man, those What's up with these forts? But yeah, here we are in our Netherlands run, right, man. Let me go into the coalition map. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did you get this coalition when you're so small? Did you vassalize someone huge? Let me see. Yeah, lots of vassals over here. Okay, so maybe it's because of vassalizing these guys. But okay, let's start analyzing this nation, man. So, unlike the Spain and the Ottomans, that coalition won't ever trigger. And not a lot of provinces owned outside of Europe. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting a lot more trade company stuff in Africa, India, and Southeast Asia when you mentioned this tall run, man. But let's see why that is. Okay, going over into the Great Powers list, we're number 3 on the Great Powers list with 2k dev, even though we own so little, and an economic hegemon. That's very, very nice. Opening up this, we got the oranges in charge right now, 526, level 5, 4, and 5 advisors. Very nice. You could obviously bump this guy up as well. Into the government tab, we got these guys fully in power. No need for absolutism for this campaign, so I'm not even taking a look at that right here. Lots of cultures promoted and accepted. The Germanic culture group, of course. And in the diplomacy department, okay, we can see that we got marches. Frankfurt, Nuremberg, Nassau, Goslar, and Lippe. And we got vassals, Dithmarschen and Lubeck. And we do have the VOC established, actually. Yeah, it does own stuff down here. So your expansion in India has already started, which is very nice to see. Going over in the economy department, a really, really strong economy for what you own right here. Massive portion coming in from trade. Look at that trade efficiency, boys. Absolutely insane. And we even got Pontianak. I think that's this. The gold mine down here, actually it's this one right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's where gold is coming in from. But yeah, very nice income. Not that much fort maintenance expenses, even though there's so many forts, but very high army maintenance expenses. We definitely have quantity active right here. Absolutely massive armies for what you own, man. I love super tall runs like this, man. I absolutely love them. I'm definitely itching to play a campaign like this myself. Going into the trade department, pretty much almost a quarter exactly of your income coming in from trade. 65% goods produced. Really strong right there. In the tech department, ahead of time in every single tech expected when you're playing as the Netherlands. 100 innovativeness. And in the ideas department, I was very interested in seeing this. So offensive trade, infrastructure, economic influence. So with only offensive, you got an army this big? The dev in these provinces must be insane, man. But yeah, really good idea group picks here. I would have expected another mill one. Maybe you could pick it up for the next one. But yeah, definitely buff up your army, man. In the missions department, a majority of these Dutch missions completed in every single branch. So super strong right there. The Netherlands have absolutely amazing missions, man. And going into the decisions and policies, we got pretty good ones active right here. Even a bonus 4th one, and no extra available ones to pick. So definitely utilizing all of this to the max. In staff and expansion, under governing capacity, that's pretty expected. And we are reformed, super strong as the Netherlands. Obviously, that's what you would most likely want to run. In the military department, way above force limit. But hey, there you have it. 100% army professionalism. Army isn't that strong itself regarding quality and stuff like that. So no, not too many combat ability modifiers. Discipline is mid. Morale is okay for this point in the game. 34 combat with. Yeah, that's not what these armies should really be looking like, but yeah, really they should be like 38 4 38 right now, I guess. But yeah, this is just a tall single player run, so no big deal on that. In the subjects department, let me take a look at the trade companies here, which I'm interested in here. So okay, so I think we got a Spanish player right here. That's why it's called like this. So we got the Guinea Company, the East Africa Company, the Indonesia Company, the Moluccas, and the Baltic Company. So yeah, that's very nice right there. And these are all the other subjects. You obviously also have Copenhagen and Gotland right here, along with Riga. So nice Baltic trade ports. I don't usually go for these in my Netherlands run, but in a run such as this, definitely. So yeah, that's it right there. And in the estates tab, 100% crown ownership, but still privileges active. Very nice. Now that we've analyzed that, I do see some, tiny problems this run, man. And that would be for me, at least, that even in a super tall Netherlands run like this is still not enough of what you want to own. So actually, if we go into this, yeah, all of these are active, which is good. That is definitely something we want. But in a Netherlands run, man, I always recommend own the entirety of the Low Countries and then also own the entire English Channel trade node over in Europe. So you definitely want to pick up like Co and Cotentin and everything down here, and then you got Gloucester, Lincolnshire, and York as well that you want to pick up. So that is definitely additional stuff that I would own. And if you're already expanding in Lubeck and in the Baltic via trade centers, you definitely want to try and pick up all of them, right? So in addition to Sealand, Gotland, and Riga right here, I would also go for Reval, Memel, Königsberg, Danzig, Stockholm too, and then in the Lubeck trade node, pretty much all of these from the ones in Lubeck, like the one in Bremen, Hamburg, Stralsund right here, Holstein, this one right here, Elfsborg, and Akershus as well. So if you're going for at least one or two of them, get all of them, right? No need for massive blobbing here, but picking out the centers of trade would be really nice. I guess you could always seize them from your subjects or something like that. So even though the borders right here in Europe are very nice and everything is super highly developed, well, we're going to analyze if it is. I still think we do need a little more expansion. By this point, I would expect you to own the entirety of the English Channel. You know, France right here might be difficult to fight, but you can make the Ottomans break the alliance with them and fight them. In Great Britain, it should really be a pushover. I didn't actually take a look at the Navy here. You should have a super powerful Navy. Yes, you already do, so that's very nice. You got this massive lightship fleet right here, protecting trade in Malacca. Pretty much a bunch of lightship fleets, not that many combat fleets. We only got this like 30 heavy fleet in Bruges, but definitely build up some more galleys since you're gonna want to be doing combat here as well. So yeah, that's my little problem with the non-expansion over in Europe, even though it is super tall. And even when you're playing a tall campaign as the Netherlands in Europe, you actually want to get your expansion established elsewhere. No need to really focus on the New World, but by this point of the game, man, I would expect you to have a dominant control of the Ivory Coast, Cape of Good Hope, and Zanzibar trade nodes, which you really don't. So definitely a lack of focus right here. Even in such a tall run, you definitely want to do colonizing as the Netherlands, man. Control in India by this point is okay-ish. You could definitely go way harder, and I would definitely expect to pretty much own almost all of the Moluccas, and Philippines trade nodes by this point in the game. So really, man, your focus in the Netherlands run is, you know, the Low Countries and English Channel trade node over in Europe, Ivory Coast, Cape of Good Hope, Zanzibar, pretty much all 5 of these, you know, Indian trade nodes, and then all 3 of these right here, and then bonuses are like Burma and Siam, and in a massive blobbing campaign, you'd probably even go for all of China. But keep in mind, that's still a tall run, technically, since, you know, this can go to the VOC over here, and all of this other stuff can be trade companies. So even though this is a tall run, this still isn't enough expansion for me, especially in the trade company regions that I just mentioned. But with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the religion. So everything is reformed right here, except for here, which is converting it. Culture is accepted and promoted. That's perfect right there. Now, let me go into what I'm really interested in right here is the development. So sorting by DevMan, taking a look at everything over here. What is La Haya? What province is La Haya? I guess it's named differently because it's Spanish, but yeah, that's the hog. So yeah, all of these, pretty much almost everything in the Netherlands, man, 40 and 30 dev right here. Yeah, everything. Yeah, the least developed province is literally 30, which is super strong. If we include territories and stuff like that, you know, those are the trade companies. So yeah, everything you own directly, really, really nice, really, really tall. I do like the, you know, the equalness of the development, even though, you know, it's not the optimal way as MP players would say. I do tend to dev like this as well, especially when you're not expanding that much and you have admin points unlocked as well. So super, super nice right there. In the buildings department, this is built in literally every single province, upgraded as well. Yeah, these aren't unlocked yet. Courthouses literally everywhere, workshops everywhere. Is this unlocked? No, it's not yet. Churches everywhere. I think every building is literally built in every single province. Yeah, just some manufactories here left to go, man. So yeah, in the building department, everything is excellent as well. I do love absolutely super tall runs like this, and this is a super, super tall run. But yeah, the only thing I could nitpick right here is not expanding in the English Channel trade node anymore. And if you're not colonizing at all, you know, it's really not a big deal that you're not doing anything here, but you know, you already have a little bit of things right here. I guess you took them without exploration expansion, so maybe that's why the expansion here is slower. But if you are planning on continuing this run, I just mentioned the things that you should go for. Even though everything in Europe is perfect, I would have loved to see expansion in the entirety of the English Channel trade node by now. In the government reforms, let's take a look at this. Dutch Republic, obviously support the state. Very nice. Devotion to the people. Maintain balance of power, even though this one is pretty good, especially if you're playing a reformed Netherlands. So that's one I would go with. Sustain discipline, good. 7 provinces, perfect for what this run right here. Union of States, Lachian Proviso, Orange's Stadtholders, Defensive Principle, Citizenry, Bureaucratic Apparatus, all of these really good right here. Maybe the only one I would swap is this one right here, Head of the Reformed Church. Now, let's take a look at the timeline. Not a lot to see this run. I didn't see who this player started off as. I'm going to assume Holland. I'm going to go very fast. because there's not a lot of expansion to be seen right here. So yeah, it is Holland Man. We can see it blobbing out very, very slowly right here. Yeah, very good expansion. Perfect. Yeah, slow and steady. Some of these guys might be vassals by this point. There we go. Netherlands formed, stuff taken over here. Expansion into Great Britain. And there we go. Expansion a little more over here. So you were planning on going further. I can see that, definitely. But yeah, there we go. And not a lot to see right now. I guess it's just some New World stuff, developing, focusing on buildings and stuff like that, building forts everywhere. Look at all these star forts on the map. And that is pretty much the timeline as well. Really good run, man. You guys know I'm a sucker for tall runs, but this isn't the perfect tall run, at least in my, opinion. I always say in these videos, this is subjective. I'm not, if something is a 5 out of 5 for me, it may not be for you. If something is a 0 out of 5 for me, it may not be for you. This is just in the way I play and in my opinion. So yeah, a very nice run, but I don't think it's perfect since you don't have all of the English channel. And I would have expected to see a little more expansion here, and definitely a lack of focus on the army as well. So for this tall run, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. And that is the final save game of the day. But there you have it, man. 3 excellent save games for today, and I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing some more. As always, if you want your save game reviewed, make sure to drop it in the Save Games 4Vid Discord channel, and yeah, you might get yours featured in a video. But if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them. And you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.